team. It's another week of the Educators Roundtable. I'm here. I'm Karen Gray. I've got some fun educators on with me this week. And every week, as we talk about different experiences, sharing our stories, I'm Karen Gray with MK Results, looking here to embark on the road to equity. And I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Jones.
Hello, I'm Dr. Jones, speaker, author of I Used to Hate School, 5 Proven Principles of Success in Education. We're here, just wanted to talk to you all about moving on that road to equity, getting educated together, having those conscious, tough conversations that create change.
All right, and Miss Jones. Miss Hall, sorry.
No, that is so funny because of course, I am Andrea Jones Hall.
Yes.
I just was caught off guard that you decided to call me that tonight. Hello, this is Miss Hall checking in from Birmingham, Alabama. I am a consultant for MK Results, and I am so honored to be a part of this awesome, amazing team.
All right, and Danielle.
Hi, friends. I'm so excited to be here. I'm also a consultant with MK Results, LLC, and I'm excited to talk about equity.
Equity.
And last but not least, Toya.
Hello. Hi, everybody. I'm Toya Engler, and I'm also a consultant with MK Results. And I'm also the host of my own podcast, Talk Time with Toya. Stay tuned. And I'm excited to be here tonight and start chatting. Woohoo!
All right, guys, we are in for a treat tonight. We have some great topics for you. We're going to be talking about confronting bias and barriers, what that unconscious bias is, and how it can impact your classroom, and not just your classroom, but how it can manifest itself within your life through interactions, through conversations, and your encounters. So, but before we get to that, we want to talk about and kind of do a top 5. So we'll be real quick with this. How this will work is I will throw out a topic, and there's 5 consultants on the screen right now, right? So you guys are going to each throw in one thing to contribute to make it the top 5. Got it? All right, so let's go kind of fun with the first one. Top 5 rappers, okay? So if you had to contribute, who are you saying is the best rapper to be in our top 5?
Biggie Smalls.
Tupac.
Eminem.
Okay, diversity. I see you.
Drake's definitely the best rapper alive right now.
Does Outkast count?
You want me to say alive? I thought it was just
any. Man, that's a toss-up. I would have to, I was gonna say Drake too, but The Weeknd doesn't rap, so I can't say The Weeknd. You know,
You love The Weeknd
all the time. My bad. But I probably would have to say a Houston rapper, and I'm gonna go with Bun B.
She knows she wanted to say Kanye West. That was crazy. She was talking about that.
Texas, all the way, Texas. All right.
Bun B is our cousin, girl.
Right. So gotta represent. All right. Next one is the top 5 HBCUs. If you had to pick an HBCU, which one are you repping tonight?
Alabama A&M University all day long. Bulldogs in the house. Who else would I represent?
I have no. I don't know.
I'm gonna say PV.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say Prairie View. I was gonna say Prairie View A&M.
Yeah.
You would. Yeah. You guys are from Texas.
Yes. Of course.
Okay.
Dr. Jones, I wonder who you got.
I'm going to say Southern University raised me. And so I'm going to have to go with Southern, but Grambling University pays me, so.
I thought you would say Grambling.
I thought you said Grambling, so I didn't want to steal your Grambling. I didn't want to steal.
My mama's watching. I ain't trying to be crazy. You know. Southern,
Right.
Southern is what I grew up. I'm at Grambling right now. But
I'm like, where did they go to in a different world?
Yeah.
Yeah, where did they go to school? It was Spill. It wasn't it
Spellman.
Spellman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, was it Spellman? Wait, no, that's Stillman, Alabama. Spellman.
That's
real
right.
college.
All right, you Danielle.
What? Oh yeah.
So I was gonna say Southern University, TSU. Megan Thee Stallion is there. I mean, you know,
Which one? She's at which one?
Texas Southern University in Houston.
Oh,
Texas.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When you said TSU, I thought you were talking about Tennessee State University.
Well, online.
Oh,
All
yeah.
University. She knows
I mean,
all the acronyms. I don't know none.
All right.
Well, I have to say I attended HBCU. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mrs. Gray.
Oh, you did? Which one?
She did.
Alabama A&M University.
sure.
Go
I
Bulldogs.
This is why
Honeybees.
all you hear Andrea, especially during football season. Alabama. She has Alabama everything.
I thought she was doing Roll Tide, man. I thought she was
I
Roll
was.
Tide.
No, you're right. No, you're right. Let me clarify. I'm glad you brought that up real quick. And I know we don't have a lot of time. Let me make sure I clarify that. So I attended Alabama A&M University. That's an HBCU. That's the Bulldogs. Now, Danielle, when you say the Honeybees, that's our rival, Alabama State. Okay.
Oh,
Now, when I
it's
cheer and
black
say
though,
Roll
right?
Tide, huh?
They black though, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Alabama State is HBCU. Alabama A&M HBCU. We're rivals, but we're not the Honeybees. We're the Bulldogs. Alabama State is the Honeybees. But wait, when I say Roll Tide, that's not HBCU related at all. That's the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa, and that is not HBCU. Those are the elephant, exactly. And I love them. I do love them to pieces, but it's not an HBCU. So I want to make sure I clarify that because a lot of people didn't know that.
Yes, absolutely.
Alabama is not one of my favorite schools. I don't like Alabama.
I can understand that. It's not a lot of people's favorite.
It's right there underneath, like, OU is like, OU sucks. That's number one.
Ooh.
And
Ooh, OU. I know Macy Gray would be so upset.
That's why I said good fighting words.
But then A&M, OU, Alabama's horrible. But I like Alabama State. That's okay.
All right, and last one, guys. The top 5 feelings in the world. What makes you feel good? If you had to contribute to here are the top 5 feelings in the world that just make you feel good, what's one thing that you would say?
ChickfilA.
ChickfilA, okay. I will go first. There is no greater feeling sometimes to me than to eat my food and watch a good show at the same damn time.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Really good food.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when I get my Thai food or whatever, you know, me and Andrew, we go get our sushi, whatever it is, eat some good food. And then you're watching like a bomb show or a bomb movie.
Yes.
What do y'all got?
I'm going to say when I clean out my ears with that Q-tip.
You one of those people that make that, like, your eyes roll back in your head, like, this feels so good. Like,
yes.
You that person.
Yes, I'd be like.
You're so silly. Danielle, what about you?
Being at the lake.
Ooh.
Water. Yeah.
Water.
Oh my God, that sounds relaxing and serene.
Like near water, even if I'm not in it, but I'm near.
Yeah.
Taking a bath or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to.
See, that's why I wanted you to go before me, because I was going to say that, but I didn't really want to say that. And I'm glad that you said it because that's mine too. So now I get to say my other one. I jumped the gun and said ChickfilA. When you said about what makes you feel good, I really do mean that. But I have a confession to make real quick. So I'm sorry, y'all, but like when I drive past ChickfilA and I see the line hanging all the way out to the street, or sometimes when ChickfilA borders like a big shopping plaza and the line is stretching all the way to some of the other stores and it's just the line is just everywhere. I'm sorry, I have a confession to make. You would think it was my company. I actually get excited for ChickfilA. I get excited because they're a Christian-based company. And a lot of their rivals don't understand how they win. They don't understand why they would even think it's affordable to be closed on Sundays. But ever since I ever known ChickfilA, they have never, ever been open on Sunday because they said one day out the week, Sunday is going to be devoted to God. I don't care how much revenue we miss. And they're still number one in the industry. So to me, and I know that's crazy, but to me, it's like a personal victory when I see them winning the way they do because they're doing it and they're doing it in the name of Jesus Christ. And it just shows that you can still be Christian, have your values. You don't have to lower your standards and try to do what everybody else is doing and still win. And that's what they do every single day. And I like eating their food, by the way. So.
It's not enough of the
Crickets.
nuggets. I want some more nuggets.
Well, they don't give you six. They actually give you more, Toya.
I get mad because I just want them to open more. I just want them to open more because I see that line wrapped around, and then I got this kid in the back seat that don't like her car seat, so I can't stop at Chick-fil-A. I just got to keep on going.
No, sweetie, you need to use your app and do curbside. I never wait. What are we talking about? You know what? I never wait.
I don't do that technology. But you know what? Chick-fil-A was nice to me because I flew in from Germany and I hadn't had no Chick-fil-A. And I went in there and I wanted some nuggets. And they were like, sorry, we serving breakfast. And I said, but I just flew in from Germany. You don't understand. They came out with the hot, fresh food and said, we cooked it just for you. I said,
see? What McDonald's ain't finna do that. Rally's ain't finna do that. Sonic ain't finna do that.
Dude, that right there, they I was like, they're my people.
My pleasure.
What you got, Harrison? What makes you feel good?
Right, Harrison.
I'm just gonna say about Chick-fil-A, I can't do Chick-fil-A. That's
what makes you feel good though?
Gummy bears. Rebo.
All right.
You should have told me. I could have brought you some gummy bears. They got the best in Germany, man.
Oh.
I like them. I got that's where I used to get them from Germany, Wurzburg.
Mm-hmm. Everybody asked me to ship them gummy bears.
Instant mood change.
What? I missed out on that.
Me too.
I'm sorry. I just wrote down y'all's numbers.
Yeah,
Confession.
Topic today, guys. We have a 30 minutes on, so we want to make sure we're so happy for everyone tuning in, watching, and really following our journey on the road to equity. Tonight's topic, we're talking about unconscious bias. These are your attitudes, things sometimes that your thoughts may manifest themselves unconsciously, where you're unaware of them. And those things sometimes shape our view of the world, how we interact with people, and how we observe or even feel about people, whether they're a threat or whether they are perceived another kind of way. So we want to really get into having a conversation about confronting bias and barriers. And before we do that, I just want to pass it over to Andrea. What are you doing?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Karen, I have a concern.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have a concern. Like, y'all don't take this the wrong way, but like, I know what we stand for. What we stand for is equity. We want equity for everyone. We want unity. And in order to have unity, that means everyone has to come to the table. And so my concern, and again, please don't shoot me down, but I just want to make sure that our mission and our vision resonates in everything that we say and everything that we do every single week. I don't want it to seem like it's an us. And by us, I mean the African-American race or Black people against them. I don't want it to seem like that. That's not what MK Results stands for. I don't stand for that. Y'all don't stand for that. None of us do. We want people to come to the table, and we want people to want equity and unity. But in order to do that, we can't be divisive in that. It can't be a us against them mentality. And so I'm bringing it up because I don't want people to think that that's what it is. I know we have a lot of I have a lot of Hispanic friends that tune in. I have a lot of Caucasian friends that tune in. I have a lot of biracial friends that tune in, and they're like, Andrea, like, I've listened, but sometimes it just feels like it's just all Black power or fight the power. And I'm trying to figure out, where do I fit in that? I hear y'all's plight, but is that all that it's about? And it's like, no, it's not our plight type of conversation. It's an our plight, meaning as a whole entire human race. Because if we're not getting along with them and they're not getting along with us, and it's an us against them type mentality, that's the problem in itself. And that's what we're trying to break. We are barrier breakers. And the us against them thing is more isolating than it is unifying. And so I don't want that. And I want to make sure that we're all clear on that. You understand? I'm like, is that okay? Like,
I agree with what you're saying 100%. But I want to say this: what you do when you strengthen the campus, when you strengthen the school, is you have to look to your weakest spots. And what we've seen over the past decade or so, since I've been working in campuses, is that African American and Hispanic and minority students are falling to the wayside. And if we don't seek to improve their experiences in high school and middle school, if we don't push towards them specifically, then our schools are going to continue to fail. And so what we should, like, I guess what I would say is, if you're only as strong as your weakest link, and if we don't seek to improve, because that's what equity is all about, if we focus on, because we can say all day, well, we need our white students to do better on the STAR test. Is that a problem? Is that an issue for anybody? I mean, is there an issue with, are they not passing? Most of them do. Since Asian students, they tend to pass the STAR test. They tend to graduate from high school regularly. But what we're not seeing is African American and Hispanic students achieving on that same level as those students that are, not minority. And so that's why when we speak on the show, we are talking about equity, because you have to target what the people that need it the most. I'm not saying that you're targeting their achievement, but you are speaking to the needs of the values of those students that are suffering right now. We can't go. I guarantee we go to any school in the state of Texas, their data will be similar. It will be similar where the African American and Hispanic males are not underachieving, or females, either way. So we have to figure out how can we bring them to a level playing field. That's part of what we're doing here, is breaking that barrier. So if people have an issue with us saying Black Power, what we're saying is we need to empower our Black people, like put people together, like bring them up together, so that we can have a level playing field. Because right now, the confidence level, the performance level, everything we're doing is not working for all of our students. So we need to figure out how can we get and ensure success for all of our students. And so I understand that they think it's Black Power, but that's what we have to do. We have to empower Black people, because if we don't, they're going to continue to fall to the wayside. They're going to continue to think that they can't achieve, that they can't be on a Zoom call, or they can't, write a book, or they can't be a teacher. And we have to say, this is things that you can do, because we don't have those role models out there. I can turn on the TV right now, and I can see any white, Hispanic male, or white, I can see a white dude teaching people all the time, and that's not going to help the students that we need to target the most right now. If I was a Hispanic person, I'd be talking about helping Black kids. If I was a white person, I'd be talking about helping Black kids, because that's what we have to do. That's what I would say to that.
Yeah, I think maybe they got a little confused, or thinking, because our last few conversations was about the mainstream media and what things were going on, especially with the Ahmaud Arbery case, with all that stuff like that. We were really hitting hard at that point in time about what was going on with all that stuff, and how we were feeling emotionally, and what people were saying back in regards to that. And I think that it was a little way less side from talking about what we can do in the education field. You know what I'm saying? It was hit or miss here and there, but we were hitting topics that were going on at that point.
I think so too, but I just wanted us to keep this phrase in mind, just being culturally sensitive, because we do have a lot of viewers that are watching, and we have so many people that want to support us. But again, if they don't see a place for them at the table to try to come to the table to help, or they don't see it as a friendly conversation, which is what we say we're having, if they don't see it as a friendly conversation, they may not want to come and join in and help us. Ooh, she's holding up something interesting. Tell us about that, K-May.
So you guys brought up a wonderful point, and that brings me to, because the equality piece, we want everyone to be treated equally, but the process to achieve that is equity. And so when we're looking at diversity and inclusion, we have to start asking ourselves, who's sitting at the table? And then who's not sitting at the table? Because we want a table that's represented a spectrum of the students we serve, of the people we serve, so that every voice and every experience is heard. And when we look at inclusion, we have to say, has everyone been heard? Because you can include people. We can check the boxes all day long of, okay, we got a minority, and we got a female, and we got, LGBT. Okay, all these checks just to check the box, but it's saying, does that person's voice feel valued enough to speak up and share their experience, and how a decision may impact this person or this group of people directly or indirectly? And so when we look at equity, we think of fair, we think of inclusive, and we have to start asking, if the goal is to get more people to sit at the table so that we can start fixing and closing the gap, we have to start saying who's trying to sit at this table and can't, and who, better yet, is knocking at the door and can't even get in. Their experience and their voice is not heard. And that's just not coming from a minority perspective, but that means we need to have representation from everyone at the table. So then when we make decisions that impact our students, our employees, we are equipped with the knowledge to make an informed decision because we've taken into account every piece that it may impact. And so when we look at equity, we want that to be seen reflective in people's policies and their procedures and their practices, because you can't just say the teachers have to do it, or the principals. It is a collective effort by everyone, not just Black people, not just white people, not just Hispanics. It is everyone, because if we do not fix the educational system or the mindsets of some leaders, then we're going to pay the high cost of that later on. That's going to be a burden on our society later on that many people aren't thinking about right now because it's not impacting their household directly.
Right.
It's impacting my household.
I would say this to them, Andrew. I would say invite them to the show.
I was going to say that.
To write letters. You start inviting people to subscribe and submit emails and to talk to us, because this is a conversation with everybody. This ain't just the five of us talking, because we can go in circles all day, but it's like preaching to the choir. All of y'all know, but we want to hear everybody's input, okay? Like, we work at diverse campuses all over all over the world. But I want you to tell you, everybody looks at school differently, and equity means something different to, from Central and Texas. Equity means something different from Dallas ISD and Killeen ISD. It's two different subjects, but it's also a mindset that everyone can be successful. And so we have to decide, like I would say invite them in, invite them on the Zoom. We got 5 people, we can invite somebody else on there, or they just participate. Everybody's welcome to participate on the live conversation. If we say something that's out of control, or that you guys disagree with, put it in the comments.
Right. And let's make sure we check the comments, because I just thought, not to cut you off. And that's confirmation. That's what Karen and I were just talking about. We were just talking about that earlier, that we're going to invite more people to this conversation, because it just can't be a 5-person conversation, because we're pretty much talking about the same thing. We're all very like-minded. We are super intelligent, and we just bring so much to the table in such an amazing way. I know, right? But we got to bring some other people to the table. So that's just confirmation, Harrison. That's confirmation.
That's what I said. Awesome what he just said. We are the choir, and we need to tell the congregation to come in so that we can sing.
Yeah.